Since the story of Boruto Part 1 is officially done in both the anime and manga, I want to take this time to look back at the anime and manga in a few videos, tackling a few different areas of focus. And I want to start with the biggest elephant in the room, which is Boruto's anime is 80% filler if you let some people tell it. Some of the misconception both comes from the guilty parties, such as the memes you see on social media that have a picture of Boruto and the statement 80% filler, or you'll have people that use the filler guides that you see online, which I understand because you want to experience the core story uninterrupted, especially if you're someone who dislikes reading manga. However, in this video, I want to explain why that 80% number is completely off the mark. I'm going to present a few things in a factual evidence format that doesn't get brought up enough when people start discussing this topic. I am by no means white knighting for Boruto's anime. I've said before, I have issues with the anime. I dropped it after 4 episodes when it was first airing. I picked it back up. I had issues with some of the episodes that were airing, but my own personal issues with the anime aside, facts are still facts. If I'm saying 80% of Boruto's anime is actually not filler, then what exactly do I define as canon? When you factor in everything, Boruto's anime is 63% non-filler, which basically comes down to 185 episodes out of 293 episodes. So let's just go ahead and keep this very, very simple. Did it come from the manga? It's canon. Did the story idea come from Kishimoto's own original manga? Then it's canon. Did the story draft come from Kishimoto? It's canon. Are the anime episodes directly building on material mentioned in the manga or referenced in the manga? It's canon. Did it come from a light novel Shueisha published in the Naruto manga timeline? Then it's canon. Did it come from Kodachi, the former writer of Boruto, i.e. the 5 Boruto novels Kodachi wrote, which are basically 40 episodes? It's canon, and I will address in depth in a moment some of the misinformation that is out there regarding those episodes from those Boruto Academy novels, because I have insight as someone that has worked in publishing in the past. Let's take it a step further though. We even have Kodachi and Kishimoto and one of the editors from Weekly Shonen Jump telling us that the anime is a parallel story to the manga. The manga is the main story, but the anime tells a complete autonomous story that is parallel to it, which is why the manga canon arcs in the anime reference things that happen in anime canon arcs. Is there filler in Boruto's anime? Objectively speaking, yes, but it's not 80%. Part of the problem with this comes from the Western term canon, which basically says, hey, if it's not in the manga, then it's not relevant story. And that worked for older series like, say, Dragon Ball, or my favorite series, Rurouni Kenshin, or especially the original Full Metal Alchemist anime, which was also adapting a monthly manga like Boruto was. You needed to have filler because the anime and manga are running simultaneously, and you needed to buy time between the arcs. When the anime and manga got too close to each other, you get random episodes like Kenshin fighting a group of Westerners coming to Japan and Christian extremists, or like how in the original Naruto anime you would have 80 episodes of filler that exist in that 3-month time skip between when Jiraiya agreed to train Naruto at the hospital and then when they actually left the village. As fans of those series, I'll be the first one to say those had no impact on the story, but the problem with the filler guides is that even when episodes build on top of material from the manga, they call it filler. It shouldn't be that way, especially when it comes to Naruto franchise, which includes Boruto. Boruto using anime canon episodes to either build on things referenced in the manga or flat out flesh out events of the story was something we were told wasn't intentional, and there's a big difference between Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto when it comes to this. Kishimoto, outside the early parts of Naruto where he literally handpicked the first director for the anime and was heavily involved in picking the animators who worked on the first series, but outside of that, Kishimoto's involvement in the anime was non-existent, except for doing a few designs here or there and giving some background info for a couple of filler arcs. Whereas with Boruto, the former writer of the manga, Kodachi, was literally stated by multiple people to be a supervisor for the anime, and he was stated to not only overlook the scripts for the anime, but there were a team of writers that directly answered to him when it came to the anime. With it being said by the Shueisha editor at Weekly Shonen Jump that the anime explores things the manga cannot due to the monthly format. Taking a step further, the anime does build on different things in the manga, and it adds in original stuff into the manga adaptations and builds on top of them. Skipping those episodes results in someone watching the Boruto anime via the filler guides and being confused why Kawaki has a ninja headband in episode 288. It's because you literally skip stuff that explains why that happened. The same with arcs like the car actuation arc and the Hozuki Castle arc. It builds on stuff that's implied in the manga or is directly told to us in the Boruto files, which are included in the physical copies of Boruto's manga. Skipping that stuff makes you question what Amato meant when he said Victor's God Tree. The anime canon episodes add layers of context and character building that gets paid off in the manga canon episodes, which is why it ends up being so jarring, because you literally just popped in with no context halfway through a story. However, let's take a deeper dive into this, because there are some quote filler episodes that will shock you, because those episodes and arcs are episodes that literally came from Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto. And given how much people love to throw around the word canon like it's a trap card from Yu-Gi-Oh, it's time to use that reverse trap card, the dreaded Chocho filler arc that was literally the brainchild of Masashi Kishimoto himself. Going by your logic, that's canon. Boruto's opening academy arc is to be considered canon for a few reasons. Sumere's character profile in the manga literally lists Nue as Sumere's actual summoning, so Nue does exist in the manga. The same with Sumere being the class rep, something we learn in this arc, and in the manga when she debuts, she's called class rep by Boruto. Most importantly, we know for a fact that Kishimoto directly stepped in and broke up and made changes to Boruto episodes 8 and 9, because we literally have Kodachi saying that Kishimoto, quote, was meticulously involved, end quote, with those episodes. Also, Kodachi was the author of the light novel version of the Academy arcs. One thing that it should be worth clearing up is you're gonna have people that say, wait, the Academy novels came out after the anime aired. But this again shows a general lack of understanding for how publishing actually works. Longtime viewers know, hey, I worked as an editorial assistant before I got into working for politics. So legend has it, I'm actually kind of qualified to weigh in on this. You don't just write a story start to finish and then the publisher prints it as soon as it's done. It literally does not work that way. Boruto's anime came out in April 2017. The first novel came out in May, and the follow-up novels came out 2 months later. Those stories consist of hundreds of pages, closer to 1,000 in number when you total them up. They're not going to be written by him in real time as he's doing the script for the manga, writing and revising episodes for the anime. Between the whole process of writing the story, going through rough drafts of the story, having editorial assistants look at it, getting the artwork drawn for each of those novel covers, as well as Ikimoto's illustrations for key scenes in those novels, that work was done a year before that stuff came out. Boruto episodes that adapt novels 1 through 5 are canon. That's episodes 1 to 15, episodes 25 to 37. Boruto episodes 18 to 24, they're canon because episode 18 is the manga one-shot Kishimoto drew for the day that Naruto became Hokage. Episodes 19 to 24 are Naruto chapters 701 to 710, or what you guys call the Shin-Uchiha arc. With the before mentioned novels, that also includes the Hidden Miss Field Trip arc, because that also gets referenced in the manga. Episode 39 is canon because that adapts another one-shot that Kishimoto drew, this time the Mitsuki one-shot manga. Boruto episode 51 is canon because it adapts material that Kodachi wrote for the Boruto movie novel that was not shown. Boruto episodes 52 to 66, they're canon because they adapt the versus Momoshiki arc, and they literally use anime canon to flesh out things from the manga story. Boruto episodes 67 through 69, that much hated Chocho butterfly training episodes, those are canon because the story idea was literally given to the anime staff by Masashi Kishimoto himself. The entire Mitsuki desertion arc, episodes 71 through 92, that should be considered anime canon because it's literally setting the foundation for the car actuation arc. I'll throw in a bone and I'll say, hey, we'll just call that filler even though it technically isn't. Episodes 93 to 95 is an incomplete adaptation of the Naruto Boruto Pain and Child A novel, which was literally placed in manga timeline by Shueisha. Boruto episode 97 is also canon because it builds on material from the Garhida novel. Episodes 98 to 103 are canon because they explain why Sumire joined the Ninja Tech department. Episodes 106 to 111, they're adaptations of the Konohashinen Steam Ninja Scrolls novel, and out of all the novels adapted, this one has one of the strongest arguments because this story was literally set up in Naruto chapter 700. Boruto episode 114 literally adapts content from the manga and expands on it. Boruto episodes 120 all the way to 136 are canon, and this time it's because that whole Urashiki arc was Kishimoto's idea. Boruto episode 141 to 147, the Hozuki Castle arc, i.e. the Mujina Bandits arc prequel, that's canon, and it's required watching for the Mujina Bandits arc because it's literally connected to it and past events are referenced in that arc. Episodes 148 to 151 are the Mujina Bandits arc from the manga. Boruto's car actuation arc, episodes 157 to episode 180, they're canon because the manga adaptations in the anime later reference this arc more than once. Episodes 181 to episode 186 adapt Boruto manga's Vessel arc. Boruto episodes 188 to 220 adapt the Kawaki arc, and they include anime canon episodes like Boro's Otsutsuki worshipping cult, which literally builds on lore given to us in the Naruto epilogue novels that explain they're people who worship Madara and Kaguya after experiencing the infinite Tsukiyomi. Boruto's much hated Funato clan arc, which as I said when it aired, literally closes open plot points that the Naruto novels set after the war introduced, including one from the Sasuke story of Sunrise that Naruto Shippuden's anime actually adapted, so canon. But I'll throw it all the way out into the filler pile just to further prove that 80% number is bullshit. Episodes 261 to 273, they're required viewing because it's literally referenced in the Code Assault arc of the anime, with Kawaki having a ninja headband during the sparring match in episode 288 and Himawari's classmates being shown in the intro, and the manga's literally letting us know that Himawari is on the path to becoming a ninja. Boruto episode 274 to 281 is the prelude to the Code arc, and it shows us not only is Sasuke looking for Code, something that was implied in the manga, but it gives us really direct foreshadowing that actually connects us to Ada. This arc also leads into the prologue and epilogue for the Sasuke Retsuden anime episodes, which directly show Sasuke looking for Code, and that Sasuke Retsuden story is also in Shueisha's manga timeline. So episodes 282 to 286 are canon. Finally, episodes 287 to 293 adapt the Code Assault arc from the manga itself, with episode 293 ending with an anime original ending, tying back to the very first flash forward sequence that you see because Boruto's manga is still ongoing, and due to production issues, Boruto's anime had to go on hiatus. However, that's just my take on this whole is Boruto 80% filler nonsense that's going on. I find it very interesting that we can accept anime canon episodes for other series that don't even have their series creator as directly involved in Boruto episodes as Kishimoto was, or the writer for the manga was involved like Kodachi was. But who am I? Just a guy that makes YouTube videos, right?